Okay, now that I finally have some quiet, this is my third attempt to finally get this video finished. So, the whole thing behind this class is I did learn a lot, from the beginning to the end. I liked the first project where we did networking with Mark and myself, and we did have Bill before he dropped the class, but it was fun, and it showed how interconnected the world is and how we have the technology to talk to people all over the world within seconds, within minutes. It's just astounding how quick things are nowadays. I had fun time using the Prezi. That, I believe, was probably my most creative time I've had, since I'm normally not an artsy person, but it made it easy for me and I really did like it a lot. And that project implemented Web 2.0 tools like video games and puzzles and etc. in educational learning, which worked nicely. I also like digital footprint. It kind of went off what I've already known, that every site we go to, we leave little digital footprints to show where we've been. And I liked how I used Jing to record that, especially with some of my music in the background. It made a nice little interesting video that worked nicely together. Voki, hit and miss on. I can see where its usefulness is towards maybe younger children, because they like the cartoon characters and everything else. High school kids, maybe not as much. I really wasn't that too impressed by it. It just didn't have enough customization behind it, and really enough tools. I mean, you could if you paid for it, but for a free version you really had little to no real customization. I ended up really with like a Borat looking character. I tried my best on that one, but it's hard to impress me unless you pay for the full price for it. End grade. I like that one, especially since I'm in history, because it gives you, it's free, it's easy to navigate, and it's very organized, and I will definitely be using that for when I do teach and student teach, because it is easy, accessible, and free. And that's the big word, free, since a lot of other things nowadays cost money to utilize, but I would definitely recommend that one. The screenshots, also in the beginning of the semester, I didn't really know how to take a screenshot. I was referenced to it once by a friend of mine online who does web design in his spare time, but now I know how to really work it well and put it in projects and other things. I like that tool. That is useful. I really was a fan of all the resources Dr. Smirnova gave us on the E-Class forums and all the links that kind of tied everything together, especially with educational websites and networking behind them, like Edutopia and the Wikipedias behind the education and everything else all work together nicely. I did find a lot on there, which is nice. YouTube is also another big thing I've learned to like more. I normally used it just for entertainment purposes, but now I can see the point where you could utilize it for educational purposes too, especially now that I have learned to kind of master YouTube webcam, since I was not really good with it beforehand. Web of Wonders, which I just finished, was by far my favorite because it allowed me to express my creativity. It allowed me to choose a topic I actually wanted to do and I liked, and it combined my love of history with my love of video games and meshed it into one nice project, which I think was well done, in my opinion. And it took some time, but all in all, it came together nicely. International Writing Exchange, hit and miss on that. I sent about 8 or 9 responses out, and I only got 1 response back. I mean, it is a big thing, and a lot of people do post, but I tried and I really couldn't get any responses. I responded to people. I started sessions on the forums and really didn't get any great responses for that. The technology education conferences with the week-long online thing, I tried to attend classes on it online, but with my work schedule and my school schedule, none of them really worked well together. I tried using the recorded sessions, but the horrible video quality behind it kind of made it really hard to get through, especially with the sound lag. But I got the gist of what some of them were saying, so at least that I did learn. And lastly, to wrap this up, this was a fun class. I can grab a lot of the stuff from this class that I will use as a teacher, especially as technology continually changes and gets more advanced. And that we should utilize more technology in the classroom because the kids today are born into it. They know how to use it, and we should just kind of eliminate some of the unnecessary boring matter that we deal with in education with whole textbooks and everything else, which I think textbooks should be eliminated and just everything should be online to be more efficient, more cheap, and just effective in general. So I did have fun with this class. It was interesting, and I hope this class sticks around, and I really did have a fun time with it, Dr. Smirnova. So thank you.